What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. UFC 317 just ended, and it was an incredible event, capped off by two awesome title fights. We had an incredible knockout in the main event and a submission in the co-main event. I'm going to break down the entire card, starting with the main event, ending with the early prelims. And first, I'm actually going to start with join our Tapology group. We are doing giveaways based on my YouTube subscribers. So right now it's 28. If you win the Tapology group, I did this week yet again. I've now won it back-to-back weeks. I will send you the amount of money in US dollars equal to my YouTube subscribers up to a certain amount, being 100. And it's at least some nice money to make in the meantime of just making picks for fights. It's free to join. All you have to do is make an account with Tapology. Go to this link, tapology.com/group/2048, and then you can join the group. All you have to do is send a request. This is my other account. It's just kind of showing you this is how you join in. The description will also have the link below. Let's get into the fights, though. UFC 317, Topuria versus Oliveira, ended in a devastating knockout. We had Topuria finishing Charles Oliveira with a straight right in the very first round. The first really clean punch of the fight on the chin for Topuria completely KO'd Oliveira clean. It was sad to see. I hated seeing it. Charles Oliveira is one of my favorite fighters ever. Ilia Topuria is an evil, evil man, but he is going to get everything he's ever wanted in this sport. He is one of the best fighters I've ever seen in my life. He is so skilled. It is incredible to watch a MMA fighter with the amount of skill level that he has and the amount of knockout power he has. He has ridiculous knockout power to just chin Charles by touching him. Charles has not been knocked out like that. Not cold. That was devastating knockout power. For Ilia, man, all I want to see is the Islam fight, but give him Arman next, then Paddy if Paddy can get past somebody very good. Incredible look by Topuria. Charles didn't look bad, but his head movement and everything just kind of looked the same as always. I wouldn't be surprised to see Oliveira retire. If not, let's give him some easier fights. Moving to the co-main event, we had Alexandre Pantoja versus Kai Kara-France, making it look easy. Dude, Pantoja's just getting better. His striking might not be the best, but it did improve in this fight. He did throw straight shots. He didn't completely Juliana Pena every single exchange. I did think he looked a lot better, but man, honestly, I'm so pumped about something else tonight that I'm more pumped about one of the fights I got wrong than the fights that I got right. There were some great flyweight fights, and I'm not a guy that normally says that. Pantoja versus Kai Kara-France was a great fight. Pantoja kind of dominated, though, to be fair. Although Kai Kara gave him some moments, but it was few and far between. Just solid takedown defense and solid striking, but other than that, not much. Pantoja getting a great rear naked choke submission after getting him down in round 3. Another perfect fight for us, or another perfect prediction for us. If you followed our picks this week, incredible. We went 9 out of 11 on the card, and a couple of them wanted. I just didn't swing the way that I should have. Moving to the feature fight of the night, staying in the flyweight division, we've got Joshua Van versus Brandon Royval. What an incredible fight. This is one of my, I think this is fight of the year. People were talking about other fights of the year being like Bilal Muhammad versus JDM. That was not a close fight. JDM whipped him. This was a close fight. This was an incredible fight in my opinion. Had this been 5 rounds, this was easily everybody's selection for fight of the year, but people wanted to glaze because other fights were 5 rounds. These dudes threw at a 5-round pace in 3 rounds. These dudes threw like flyweights are supposed to throw. Honestly, I loved this fight. Joshua Van has easily become one of my favorite fighters. He is my favorite flyweight to watch right now. And he didn't look as small as he's been. So maybe our little man is growing still at 23 years old. He is still a baby, I guess. What I want to see next for Josh Van, title shot against Pantoja. I think he's ready, honestly. Ground game might not be quite ready, so maybe he gets exposed. Maybe it's kind of the Henry Cejudo plot where Cejudo just wasn't quite ready for Demetrius Johnson's clinch game, and this will be more the Josh Van not being ready for Pantoja's ground game. Moving on to Beneil Dariush versus Renato Moicano. We've got Beneil Dariush winning by decision. The first round, holy shit. If you were a Beneil Dariush picker or Beneil Dariush fan, enjoyer, you were horrified at what happened. Beneil's looking good early with some good kicks, and then somewhere midway through the round, I think, Moicano just steps in and cracks Beneil, drops him, almost finishes him off. Had Moicano been throwing punches and using ground and pound like he did against Benoit Saint-Denis, instead of grappling against Beneil Dariush, who's such a good defensive grappler when he's hurt, if you're not punching him, he is going to just survive like a little parasite. And he did. I felt bad for Moicano. I was rooting for Moicano. Everybody that I was rooting for in the fight, but I picked against tonight, lost. I was right with each of my picks, so they didn't win. But honestly, hats off to Beneil for this performance, because getting hurt early as badly as he did, I wasn't sure that he was going to be able to recover in the second round. And his recovery from the second and third round were just incredible. His performance was great. He had very nasty body kicks. Moicano checked a couple kicks, and I thought Beneil was going to stop throwing kicks, but man, he just kept hammering them in. Incredible performance. It was a good fight from both dudes. Close fight. I could have seen a draw if Moicano could have got a 10-8, and he could have gotten a 10-8 had he just thrown ground and pound. He probably could have got the finish, honestly. Moving to the bantamweight division, we've got Peyton Talbot versus Felipe Lima. What an incredible fight this was, too. It was kind of the inverse of what I thought it would be, though. I thought Felipe Lima was going to win the fight based on very close striking with Peyton Talbot, and his ground game was going to separate them. Although that is what separated them, was the ground game. Felipe Lima was better on the feet, it seemed, than Peyton Talbot, but Felipe Lima just decided to keep attempting to grapple when he shouldn't have. He would be winning exchanges on the feet and just started to grapple at times, and it was very puzzling. It didn't make any sense at all. I really wonder what was going through Lima's head. But, dude, I mean, the grappling exchanges from Peyton Talbot were just incredible. He looked so improved. Like, where was this against Barcelos? Where was this performance? It makes no sense. He looked so fucking good in this fight. It was so impressive. This kid deserves a massive step up again. Or not massive step up, but, he deserves such another great fight. You give this kid somebody like Wellmaker or Yanez like he called for, and shit, I'm here for it. Fantastic main card. This card was great in general overall. I just love this card. Moving to Gregory Rodriguez, we're going to the prelims. We went 2-3 on the main, or 3-2 on the main card, getting the main, co-main, and the Dariush fight right. Moving to Gregory Rodriguez versus Jack Hermansson. This was the main event of the prelims, and in the first round, Gregory Rodriguez was not quite winning easily in the exchanges. Hermansson was staying on the outside, landing a lot of shots from range, and then just out of nowhere, literally out of fucking nowhere, Rodriguez just lands just an absolute bomb on Hermansson, and literally, it looked like it murdered him. I was astonished. I couldn't believe it. It was one of those like, oh man, like, guess it's gonna be one of those kind of fights. We're in for a 3-round performance, and then just out of nowhere, he just starches Jack Hermanson. Give him Joe Pyfer next. Honestly, it's a fight I would love to see. Just right offhand, I might make a fights to make video now here soon, and maybe we'll put that together. Moving down to the featherweight division, we've got Jose Delgado versus Hyder Emil. First round knockout, 26 seconds into the card, or 26 seconds into the fight. Big knee lands for Jose Delgado. Hyder Emil pressured early, looked good. It was looking nice. If there was one complaint I had, it's not that it's an early stoppage, it's that Hyder Emil recovered too fast, I guess, and Mark Goddard pulled the trigger at the wrong time. Stoppage was fine, but, had Mark Goddard been perfect, it would have been so much better. Jose Delgado looked impressive, though, man. This dude led him right into that knee, clinched him, bang, just landed a beautiful knee and vicious shot. Followed up with some ground and pound that hurt Hyder, but he was starting to come back as the fight, like literally as Goddard was crushing his way in and to separate. Hyder Emil was starting to like zombie his way up, and impressive chin from Hyder Emil. I've got to give him that, man, and recovery ability. But Hurricane Hyder is stopped for now. I think it's going to recover and brew up something nasty when hurricane season comes rolling around. Although Jose Delgado has now just made himself a star, at least in the featherweight division for now. Moving down to the women's flyweight division, we've got Tracy Cortez beating Viviane Arujo by decision. Kind of an eventful fight. Tracy Cortez got some takedowns, did enough in the striking. Arujo just didn't do much at all. One of the less eventful women's fights lately. Women's fights have been great lately. Outside of this one, if you really wanted to see some upsides about this fight, it was that Tracy Cortez is a pretty woman, I guess. But other than that, that's about it for this fight. Terrence McKinney defeating Vyacheslav Borisev via submission in the first round. If I remember right, it was a Darush choke, and he took full mount on him and just started crushing. Vyacheslav just started kicking as much as he could, trying to get out, trying to tough through it. Really trying to gas out McKinney's arms at that point if you're really not, fighting the hands and actually trying to defend yourself. Just kicking's not going to defend the choke, unless your opponent just can't squeeze for very long. But McKinney kept the squeeze, did great. Fantastic first-round finish, exposed Vyacheslav's ground game, and did something that Chase Hooper couldn't even do and submitted him, I think. If I'm not mistaken, Chase Hooper had to go to decision with him, although he did drop him. Good fight. It was awesome. It was cool to see. Nothing more than that, really. Moving to the welterweight division, we've got Jacoby Smith beating Nico Smith by submission. I can't quite rear naked choke. The athleticism of Jacoby Smith very early was a problem for Nico Price, and it wasn't pretty at all for him, man. Like, he was getting clipped early, but after some of the grappling exchanges early in the first round, Jacoby Smith looked incredibly gassed. Like, I couldn't believe how gassed he was to be the age that he is. Like, I was fucking astonished at this kid's gas tank being as low as it was already. I know it's probably he's early into his UFC career and just didn't manage his gas tank very well in a grappling exchange, which that can happen. But he ended up toughing through it. I was very worried that he was about to get massively exposed, and he didn't. So he pulled through it. Nico gave him some adversity to get through, It's not good that Nico gave him adversity, but it's good that he got through that adversity. I will be looking out against certain opponents for Jacoby Smith, like dudes that are tough and have solid takedown defense and solid striking. I'm going to worry about Jacoby Smith against those kind of guys, man. Like, he might get a little exposed against those guys because Nico Price kind of showed some holes. And moving finally to the first fight of the night, we've got Denise beating Alvin Hines by a 3-round decision, 29-28 if I'm remembering right. This was a pretty close fight, man. If it wasn't for the hand speed of Denise, I think Alvin Hines would have won his debut in the UFC. He looked pretty impressive, and he's not just your average fat blob heavyweight. This guy can actually, last 3 rounds in a fight and keep throwing punches. He was throwing head kicks in the 3rd round in this fight, in his first fight in the UFC. That's impressive to me, a guy who sees these blob fucking heavyweights out here unable to even throw leg kicks in the 3rd round, yet alone head kicks. I'm impressed by Alvin Hines. Denise did pretty well. He almost got exposed by a debutant. I'm not certain if I'm saying that right. A guy who's on his debut. So let's not give him too high of a step up, but let's give him a little bit of a step up. As for Alvin Hines, give this guy a full camp. I would love to see him getting a full fight or a full fight camp against a new fighter. Let's give this guy like maybe not Jamal Pogues. Maybe that's a little too soon for him, but maybe a Hamdi Abdelwahab. That's a solid fight, I think. Anyways, this is our fight picks. We got, 9 out of the 11 fights right. Did very well on the card. If you had followed my picks, made any bets on the picks, we did very well. I think we're going to be doing pretty good here on this card. I think we're going to do fantastic, I think. Or did fantastic, honestly. Hopefully we're going to bring it next week in the picks. I think next week is the Taliesin Teixeira versus Derek Lewis card. I might make a fight to make after UFC 317 video if I can, get a little board set up on here. Anyways, likes, comment, subscribe, please, guys. That helps out the algorithm. Weirdly, my videos did okay this week, and thank you guys so much for subscribing. We're at 28. That means $28 would have went out to whoever won this week, which was me. But so it goes nowhere this week. But that brings me to sign up for the Tapology group. I'm going to leave a link in the description below. Please sign up for the group. Make your fight picks, and you can win my money up to $100 if we have 100 subscribers when we hit that point. We did hit 25 subscribers. It's a milestone in my opinion. I appreciate that so much, guys. Thanks. I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.